as we move down through your discography, so you move on to working with King Crimson. So the album Vroom in 94 and Thrak in 95. What was it like working with these prog rock legends?
Oh, well, it was fantastic. Obviously, Tony Levin I had worked with before, and even Trey Gunn I had worked with because we did that David Sylvian and Robert Fripp project the first day. So I had worked with a couple of them already, including Robert. I found, it was sort of natural progression from that. Working with these guys was really exciting. It was such a funny introduction to Bill Bruford because I set up in a studio in Woodstock, New York, and it was this small studio that we were kind of using more than the studio was really capable of. And so we kind of got in extra tape machines and extra consoles in order to do this, because the way they were setting up was as a dual trio. It was two drummers, two bass instrument players, stick and bass, and two guitar players. So I had to have enough inputs for two full drum kits. And, the drum kits that they had weren't small drum kits, so they were always quite big. But we were recording the first version. We kind of got set up, and this is the first time I had recorded them. And we ran through a version of Thrak, right? And so we got it all, we played it down one time. It's the first time I've heard this song. And I don't know if you know the song, it's quite involved. There's sort of a thematic thing at the beginning, an improv section in the middle, and then the theme at the end. Again, this is the first time I've ever heard this thing. So they come back in after the performance, and this is like a 7-8 minute piece of music, and we play through it. So this playthrough is the second time I've heard this song. So we finished the record, or finished the thing, and Bruford turns to me, he goes, "Oh, okay, great. But I kind of messed up here at the end theme here. Can from bar, I don't remember the number, X to bar Y, can you drop me in and drop me out of this?" Now, this is a drop in on analog tape of drums, in and out, which is an extraordinarily difficult thing to do and get right in a piece that's, let's put it this way, 3 different musicians are playing in 3 different time signatures. So trying to count what is one on any given bar. Anyway, in the process of this, I turn around and Trey and Tony are just howling with laughter because they know this is the second time I've heard this intricate piece of music, and Bill's asking me to drop him out in very specific places. Anyway, I said, "Yes, Bill, I can, but I'm going to have to learn this to count it. So, let me play me through, show me where. And he did, and we did it. And I managed to get it in and out. I was pretty good at punching, but it was just, I got to count. You got to learn to count. What are you in? I'm in 15. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 1, 2, 3, out. And he was happy with it. Now, this was actually meant to be like a sort of pre-production precursor to the album of Thrak that we did, but it was still I wanted to make sure we got it right. So it was an exciting, stressful, potentially non-panic situation. We got it done in one punch, but it was very funny. I know Trey and Bill, Trey and Tony thought it was the most hilarious thing they'd ever seen.
I'm a Pro Tools baby, so just hearing you having to pull that off that's a nightmare to me. I mean, that sounds that sounds impossible.
Think cymbals, right? If there are any cymbals, you're dropping out in the middle of cymbals. How to get that without it sounding weird? I had the forgiving nature of 2 drum kits, so there was cover up, but the punch was pretty good, as I recall, and worked.
So when you have 2 different trios, you have drums, bass, guitar times 2. What challenges did that pose in the mixing of the album?
Well, it was difficult because you had to fit things around, like anything sonically. You've got to fit around. Now, the great thing was they would work out their parts so that they would interweave, right? And playing in different signatures meant that you were able to fit things in and around. But often panning was very useful. I mean, during one of the songs, it was like hard left, hard right with the 3 trios, because it's like, get it out of the way. But yeah, I mean, it was a challenge, a fun challenge. I mean, one of the problems that I did have was between the two drummers, they neither of them wanted to be the small drummer, right? They both wanted the big drum sound. Well, it's not easy to fit, both big drum sounds. Somebody's got to be the rhythm, and somebody's got to be the melody in the rhythm parts. So it's like, Bill, you're playing more rhythmic parts, and I'll get you as big as I can, but I can't make it as big as big thumping Pat Mastelotto, which was huge kind of sounds. Like, let's try and find some common ground here.
So you prefer to work with music that has strong identity, lots of originality. You've said that genre isn't that important. Where did this kind of ethos come from that you've lived by with the artists you've worked over your career?
Well, I think just because I'm a music fan of all different things, right? I love lots of different styles of music. So for me, it's really the integrity of the composition, integrity of the artist and the performance that matters, not whether it's rock or metal or progressive or singer-songwriter or atmospheric or ambient or whatever. As long as the intention is there, and as long as the integrity of the performance and the composition is there, I'm happy.
So your work with King Crimson, rumor has it that's what led to your work with Tool. That Tool was a fan of your work with King Crimson. Is that accurate?
Partially, yeah. Danny Carey was a big King Crimson fan, so he loved the work that I had done on Vroom Thrak. Adam was a big fan of the First Day album that I did with David Sylvian and Robert Fripp. Maynard was very enamored, actually more by the world music stuff that I had done, the Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan music that we did with Real World Records, things like that, and the Passion soundtrack. And I think Justin, being new to the band, he just heard the discography and thought, yeah, this guy gets great sound. So it was sort of threefold, but King Crimson certainly played a large part in why Tool wanted to work with me.